There's no question that school leadership is really important. I can't tell you a single example of a school that has made very, very strong improvements over multiple years where there's not a pretty solid leader in place. But I don't want to create a mental image for you or encourage the current one of the heroic sort of superstar leader. One of the things I get very depressed about when I go to conferences of principals, there's always a keynote presentation, or sometimes two or three, from these superstar turnaround principals who convince you that they sort of turn the school around by the sheer force of their personality. I find that depressing for two reasons. Number one, because everybody in the audience who doesn't have that kind of personality goes, oh, I guess I can't do this. But number two, because it's wrong. When we find schools through the data, right? So we find schools that are on this massive improvement trajectory over multiple years. When we go to meet the principals, almost never are they these, big, bad personality types. They are regular people, but they are very focused. They are absolutely relentless, but they are not the only leaders in their school. So what do we need to do? Well, we could do what they do in the UK. They actually created a national college for school leadership. You could do a Michigan college for school leadership that really is about taking this away from higher ed. They're doing a terrible job and actually using some of your very best principals in the state to help train others. You can also, you can partner with an organization like New Leaders for New Schools, right, that finds fabulous teachers around the country who have at least 3, sometimes many more years of teaching experience, and actually puts them in a training relationship with fabulous principals and then prepares them to teach in the most difficult, challenging places. So what do we need to do? We need to measure how much growth kids make during the classroom, during the year they're with the teacher. That needs to matter for the teachers in terms of evaluation, and it ought to be at least a part of their compensation, in my judgment. And until we do that, what we send to our best teachers is the message that we don't really value them very much, because they actually can make a lot less than the teacher right down the hall who has lots of units and lots of years but turns a film strip on every day, and that's not a good message to our best teachers. I'm sure John here from the State Board of Ed would tell you what we know from on-the-ground work in Michigan, and that is we're having some trouble on the ground making this work, and it is especially problematic in mathematics. So thinking about how to array support around especially 7th and 8th grade mathematics, so kids are coming into those high schools better prepared, but how to help the high schools whose freshmen today, right, are going to be held accountable for this, how to help them make that Algebra 1 course more effective. This is where, at least we're being told by the Michigan high school principals, people are bleeding, right? And those teachers really need some solid help on how to get kids through. Some of that might be through some technology, but some of that also needs to be some direct work with those teachers, because they are being asked to get through Algebra 1, kids who never got through Algebra 1 before. So thinking about how to array some supports underneath those teachers would be a terrific opportunity for philanthropists. I think what more and more people are realizing is that we need to really work hard to attract stronger people into the teaching profession. And that often means looking in different places than we've looked before, including career switchers and others. So we need to have more flexible paths for entry, but higher requirements on the front end. Second, we do need to remake the incentives for teachers, especially good teachers, to both stay in and to teach in the place that we most need them. There's a lot of, the status hierarchy, as you know, is all wrong, right? All the rewards go to teachers who teach the AP, the IB, the high-end kids. We need to change that and make sure that there's more honor as well as money to those who are doing the toughest work. I think the place, though, that most of us are realizing we've been least attentive is on the curriculum side. In most states, while states have set standards, and they've even gone below that and provided a little more specific guidance to teachers, that we don't in this country do what most other developed countries do, and that is provide a very full curriculum for teachers to teach from. As a result, What they have is a textbook, right? And those of you who've looked at a textbook recently know that's not a curriculum. So if I'm an 8th grade math teacher and I'm relying on a textbook, typical 8th grade math textbook has 482 pages, way more chapters than I could possibly get through. So one teacher starts at the beginning, goes as far as he or she can. That's his math curriculum. Second teacher says, well, some things are more important than others, so skips around. Some teachers say, we'll do the symbolic problems, but not the word problems. That takes too long. We won't get through the book. The fourth teacher makes a decision basically just to randomly go around. Each of those kids has had a very different mathematics experience. We can't keep affording to do that, right? We have got to assure that what all kids get in 8th grade math or 7th grade math is the same, right? That they get the full curriculum, and we're not going to do that by leaving that to local school districts, which is what we've continued to do. The fact of the matter is, typical school district in this country has about 0.5 FTE in the curriculum office, and that person also drives a school bus. The idea that that person can create a great curriculum, or the idea that textbooks are curriculum, wrong, wrong, wrong. So we really need to invest more time and energy there.